if you're really looking to learn, if you're looking to grow this year, if you're looking to get rich content that will actually help you get through some of the challenges that you're going to face this year, then this is where you want to subscribe. So Happy New Year to everybody. It's been a very long time since we've actually spoken to you. We've been a little busy, just like most people have been throughout the festive season. So it's now Happy New Year.
Mm-hmm. And if you're new to this channel, he is
Mark or Marco.
And I'm Bethel or Bella. And together we're Marco
Bella. As we're intimately known by our friends.
It's been hectic, peoples. It's not been because we hadn't wanted to film, but there has just been so many things happening in our life, and
I think it's the same for everybody else, though.
Probably.
People are just busy.
There's been a lot. There's been a lot of illness. There's been so much going on.
Lots of changes to people's lives.
Lots of changes going on. Financial crises. There's just been everything.
Yeah, and health-wise, of course, you know, some people are not doing so okay, obviously because either loss in the family or growth. Maybe they've had new additions to their family.
Yeah.
So lots of change everywhere.
Happy New Year, guys.
Well, actually, we missed Christmas. But, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I wish them Merry Christmas, actually, because I did a little short.
Oh, yeah. Bethel was doing the short. So, yeah, well done to Bethel.
Yeah. So, Happy New Year. Welcome to 2023. We are super excited about 2023.
Certainly, yeah.
We've had some time off from filming, which I think was necessary. It helped us to refocus. It helps us to review what our last year has been like, which honestly it was an awesome journey. I totally enjoyed starting this channel with you.
Oh, thank you, Bethel. Thank you.
And you, of course.
I was going to say, if only you could read my journal, you'd actually see the conversations I have with myself about this whole process and what the journey's been like. And sure, yeah, of course, it's been enjoyable.
And I think that the part that I've loved the most has been getting feedback from you guys, because it is for you guys.
Yeah,
we share a lot of our stuff for the purposes of helping people in any way, shape, or form. And
you sound like a guru. Like
sometimes
I've got to the place of actually self-actualization.
No, it's not even like that.
I can share my wisdom with you.
No, it's not even like that, because sometimes it's through sharing our downfalls and our struggles that it helps other people.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I've had so
Absolutely.
much feedback to go, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing that. You know, sometimes when you ask for marriage advice, people don't want to tell you their stuff. People just want to pretend like it's all glory and heaven in the house. And
well, it is exactly what we're going. I know we're kind of digressing here, but it's exactly what we're experiencing when we, you know, watch social media. Because everything is all about the glitz and the glamour. It's all about this perfect world.
Put your best foot forward, wear your best clothes, especially
Exactly.
Instagram and all of that kind of stuff. Social media at the moment. I was having a conversation with somebody, actually, one of our good followers, and she was saying, you know, with everybody posting about this holiday and this dress and this shopping experience and this new car and this new house, we've done it too. It sometimes makes you feel like, is my life okay? Like, I don't have that, or I don't have the fancy new whatever. So sometimes it's nice to share about when you're struggling and when you're having difficulties, and we did that last year, and we put our hearts on our sleeves, really. And I mean, I personally want to thank you and appreciate you guys for being so kind and hearing us and supporting us and being there for us, offering us some advice, which has really helped us a lot.
Helps us to grow. And you know, as we were just talking, they just made me think of how even the Bible's written. I know I'm getting all spiritual here, but just thinking about even how the Bible's written, it's not just talking about all the glory stories.
No.
You know, think of David, for example. He's writing about, you know, his high and his low moments.
Yeah, because we're in Psalms at the moment, aren't we? And David is talking about, you know, I think I'm on a spiritual journey, guys. Not that we weren't spiritual before, but, you know, we're really starting to get immersed in the Word.
Yeah.
And, you know, when David is like, oh, Lord, how many are my foes? How long will this last?
Yeah.
Sometimes those mornings, those scriptures have just been so key, isn't it? And at the moment, our scripture is like, the horse is
prepared for battle, but safety is from the Lord.
Yeah.
And that's so true, because as a human being, yes, you can plan, you can prepare, you can do all those stuff, you know, have these really big aspirations. But things can just change like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So Mark's always reminding me about that when things go wrong. It's like, safety comes from the Lord. I'm like,
yeah. Because you can have all the money. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the safety financially, you know, and emotionally, and even health-wise. But then that could all change in a moment.
Yeah.
So to be fair, safety does come from the Lord. So anyway, that's just a spiritual digression that we went on.
So what do we have in store for you this year? Well, we do want to do some recap videos in terms of what's been going on in the past. It's been like nearly 3 months that we haven't done solid, meaty content.
And that's been mostly me, actually, just kind of running away from the camera like, no.
He kind of has, but you know what? He said this thing to me the other day and it hit me because at first I was just thinking he didn't want to edit all the videos because he does all the editing.
And Bethel, please remind everyone, for 1 minute of video, how much footage do you have to go through? Or how many hours of processing and actually working through?
Mark literally sits there sometimes for like 16 to 24 hours.
And I think there's a formula to it. I can't remember the exact formula. There's a formula that they use.
Oh, you're talking about 1 minute on stage?
Yeah.
1 minute of stage is 5 hours of rehearsal time.
Oh, there you go. It's a similar thing. So imagine editing and it's a video's footage. So yeah,
exactly. So this is why as well, one of the things we're doing for this year, we've decided is actually we would love to do a live podcast on a Thursday night. The reason we're choosing Thursday is because we know that various people around in the UK have different church services on a Tuesday or a Wednesday and a Friday and a Sunday. And Saturdays, weekends are kind of family time, so we don't want to impose on that. No. So we thought actually Thursday night is probably the time where people are most likely to be free. And we will try to be there every Thursday. It may not always happen, so we're not giving you empty promises. But we're going to try to be there at 8:30.
Yeah, we said 8:30. Because most people will have put the kids to sleep and they're available for the night and they're ready to listen and to learn or to grow with us.
And to grow with us. And we feel like one thing that was stopping us, as we were saying, was the editing. And if we are doing a live session, then that takes up the editing. And it also ensures that you guys get content on time and you don't have to wait for it. And to be fair,
I know some people are going to miss the
gifts
and all of that stuff.
But it doesn't mean that we won't do gifts later.
Well, yeah.
In this season, I just feel like, there's so many topics that are just going. Like every week I'm like, oh, that would have been a good video. That would have been a good video. That would have been a good video. Because there's so much happening in our lives that, we could share our learning from. And because we're like, oh, but we don't have time to edit. We don't have time to do this. It's like, oh, okay, we can't do that. No.
Because I think it's a balancing act of trying to entertain as well as engage.
Yeah.
And I think for us, we've got to the place now where we would love to engage more rather than just entertain. So actually have richer conversations.
Yes. But needless to say, there will
always be... What, are you going to learn? I thought you were going to say, I'm going to start editing. I'm going to learn, how to use all these different softwares.
I will start editing. I always promised I'm going to start editing. But also, I also don't have the time right now.
No.
But as I get more time, then I will also learn to edit as well. The good thing about live videos is you can always edit them later. So it's fine. It's always there.
Or never need to edit.
We'll see what works with you guys and how you like them. And so your feedback is really crucial. We have now got a community tab since hitting 500 subscribers, which we thank you for. So if you want to see anything or ask us any questions, any specific topics, just write it on there and we will look at that and find out what you guys want. So thank you so much. So the topics we want to talk about for Thursday Night Live with Marco Bella. We should come up with something like a little slogan for it or something.
Yeah, I'll think about that.
We'll think about that. Give us some ideas if you've got some. But yeah, so, okay, one of the major things that has happened is obviously we've had Freya in April, and that's our new baby girl. She's going to be 9 months. Can you believe it? That has just rocked our world.
So I'm thinking about all of these topics relate to change. Change that takes place within families, within individuals, within communities. And so, this is what a lot of the topics are actually based around. So
yeah. So one of the major changes has been Rhea. And the thing is, with Rhea, it's ever changing. Because, as she develops, it's like now she's crawling, now she's doing this, now she's doing this. So your life is just constantly changing. And it's about learning to adapt, learning to process.
And most importantly, how do we cope? How do the parents cope?
Yeah, exactly.
How do couples cope within that season of significant change?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so in between all of that, then when did you start? In October?
Was it October? I think it was October.
October? You can tell them.
Wait, is this about uni? Or
yes.
So I started uni again for the...
How many times?
Fourth time, I think.
Fourth time?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should list our accolades here,
with all humility.
With all humility.
We
have both been to uni about 8 times.
Yeah, true. And that's by God's grace, to be fair.
It
You know,
is,
giving us
it
the
is.
opportunity to do that.
I
So I'm
think
thankful.
it's because, like, whenever we see there's a gap in our knowledge or understanding, we're like, oh,
That's a good point.
let's go back and learn that
That's a good point.
because we don't know that. So let's go back and learn. So it's not like, oh, I want to get these degrees
No,
and degrees. It's
no,
really not about that, to be
no.
honest. It's about, actually, there's a gap here and we need to figure that out.
So one of the gaps that we've been talking about has been to do with how do we share what we know through a medium of, or the medium of counselling, if you like. And so there's a program called systemic therapy, which is something that Bethel has always talked to me about. And I thought a therapist was a shrink.
I know. Mark thought
And no disrespect to the therapists out there.
or shrinks.
Or shrinks out there.
So every time I said to Mark, you know, we actually, like, what we're doing essentially is counselling people. And I think we need to get qualified to do it because at the moment we're counselling through experience, lived experience, which is also valuable, and through the word of God, which is extremely valuable. But I said to him, you know, a lot of people come and ask for counselling, but we haven't. Well, Mark's got a life coaching certificate and I'm a social worker.
Yeah. Life coaching.
Yeah, life coach.
It's mentoring and coaching.
Oh, sorry. Get it right. Mentoring and coaching. But now Mark has gone back to university to study systemic family therapy.
Yeah. And
yeah, within in 4 years' time, you'll be a practicing systemic family therapist. And already that has, oh my gosh, you've had so many huge revelations within just one
We've
term.
had what we call a paradigm shift.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, so many of them across
It's been
so many
huge.
different dimensions of our lives, or facets of our lives, because this conversation that we're having as a result of some of the stuff that I'm learning.
Going through our genograms.
Yeah, our family tree.
We'll talk about that in one of the Thursday night lives.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, going through your genogram, family history, and then there's just so much stuff that's coming out from that. And
I know some people don't believe in movies, but I watched this Encanto by Disney. I'd seen it before. Kids, you know, I do like animation, so I'd seen it before and never really, I don't know, I suppose drew anything from it. But having done this course or going through this course and actually seen it through that lens, oh my goodness.
Just opened his eyes to a
it's
whole
opened my
world.
eyes to a whole new world of transformation. And so, yeah, there's a conversation around that, which I think would be really interesting.
Yeah,
for
I think
everybody
you've
else.
been talking a lot about race and colonialism and our experience of it. And that has really helped you.
Well, I think the most important one has been about, I'm sure some of you might be familiar, I know we're digressing here, family life cycle. So the changes that take place within the family.
Yes.
As a result of either significant change with its children, whether it's, you know, emigration or immigration or loss of some, you know, or change in language, assimilation into a new culture, whatever that might be.
Yeah.
So there are all sorts of conversations that, you know.
And one of those topics we're going to have on a Thursday Night Live, guys. So that's already 2 topics for Thursday Night Lives. Make sure you're there at 8:30, guys, with us. The next thing that we've been kind of going through together, I mean, differently, Mark has been battling with his health. I think we mentioned it in a previous video, the couch time video, that Mark didn't know, but he had high blood pressure. Like seriously high, guys, like stroke level. It wasn't a joke, you know.
And it's interesting because I've never been one to really focus on any kind of health issues.
You never go to the GP.
I'm one of those never been to the doctor. I hardly ever go to the doctor.
I have to force him.
You know, that kind of stuff. Because for the most part, I'm generally healthy.
You're generally
we
well.
eat healthy. I play basketball. You know, quite active in that sense. Sleep generally okay.
Generally okay until we had a baby.
Yeah. But thanks to Bethel, obviously you brought some things to light. And I think the journey has been about how does my faith, let me explain that better. Because I believe, how can my faith help me in a practical sense to overcome this health problem?
Yeah.
And by God's grace, he sent us. Well, I mean, we were praying about this, so we've got a specialist to actually come and live with us. Bethel, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, with Mark, I was battling because, as he said, he doesn't like going to the doctors and he doesn't.
Well, the last time I trusted Bethel with, you know, medication, I don't know whether you remember the video, but something happened and it was nearly, well, I was going to say nearly fatal, but
yes. Anywho's, we've moved on from that and
from the sea of forgetfulness.
Repented for that, and yet she keeps bringing it back.
I know she has.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. So I kept saying, Mark, you know, we need to go to the hospital, blah blah blah. So anyway, eventually he goes to the hospital.
Well, no, you got the blood pressure monitor thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you asked me to go pick it up, and then obviously I went to pick it up,
and then we checked it, and it was.
And then they kept
like-
trying to get the readings, and I was like, no, "I'll be back," and I kept running away, and then
It was
eventually
like
we checked the readings.
195 over. What was it? Over 125,
I don't
guys.
know. And
That is-
in all honesty, that's the first time I've ever.
realize the significance.
Well, no, I didn't even know what the numbers meant.
Yeah. So it's supposed to be 120 over 80, and he was 195 over 125. That is like stroke or heart attack level, guys. It was
I didn't
serious.
know, but you.
And
told me
he's just
that.
there like, meh. I'm like, and he had been like that for like a long time, by the way, because he'd been to a medical appointment before,
No, it's a chiropractor.
chiropractor appointment, and he didn't tell me what his readings were. And obviously, he's like, yeah, it was slightly high. It was fine. And I'm thinking, okay, maybe
Because
it's like
that's what the chiropractor said.
125.
Yeah.
But it was like 195. Okay, guys, this is serious. Anyway, we'll talk about that on one of our Thursday night lives, guys, if you want to know more about that. Yeah, and for me, for some of you who are on my WhatsApp status or Instagram, MarcoBella_19, you would have seen there's been moments where I've been struggling myself postnatally. I've been having low lows, high highs. Someone said I'm bipolar. Lower.
She was deep down in the depths.
Deep down in the dumps.
Down
You're
in
kind
the-
of
when you
lonely
feel
and
you're
you're down
kinda
in the
lonely.
dumps.
Hey, we should do that one. What?
Down in the dumps.
Down in the dumps. I think it goes something like.
When you're feeling kind of lonely and you're down in the dumps. Down in the dumps.
And you're down in the dumps. And you're down in the dumps. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
What does it say?
Don't be grumpy. Don't go on and on. Count your blessings. Count your blessings. Say what God has done. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Have the guitar ready just in case. See?
Yeah, that's something we want to add into our videos a lot, as well as singing. Because we really found singing has helped us through this tough patch
Yeah, true.
in our lives, and we've really
Music.
brought music
yeah, that's
back
something.
into our lives.
So we were given, I don't know, probably about 2 years ago, somebody gave us an Amazon Alexa Echo Dot thing. And honestly, we never really used that. It was in the box for 2 years. And eventually I was like, actually, we just missed our speaker because we had a Bluetooth sound speaker that we had before that we used to play all the music from. But then I don't know what happened to that, it broke. And so I was like, oh, let's just try this Echo Dot thing. And
I think it wasn't
it's
even
been
about breaking. We just didn't have the access to the music.
We just didn't have access to the music. That's true. We just didn't have access to the music. And so, oh, goodness me, just getting back to music. Having music playing all around the house.
No,
That's
the
what
kids
we used
love
to do.
it.
The kids love it.
Oh my
you know,
gosh,
so-
that's great. That's like a whole other topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what was I saying? So yeah, I've had low lows and the whole postnatal experience, and I've spoken up about it, and people have been really supportive, and that's been really helpful to me. When people have come and gone, it's okay, I've been there, or I've gone through this, and this is what helped me. So we're going to talk about that again on one of the Thursday night lives, because it's important to share. It's what?
As you're talking, I'm just thinking about, so I have made some significant progress. From the last time when, after we'd just been married, I'm sure some of you have seen the video already, but,
Oh gosh.
Yeah. And then she tripped over, and we're talking about what? First
When
month
Mark-
of marriage.
When
and I
Mark
just
stepped over
stepped
me
over,
after I had
right.
just literally collapsed.
But we've made progress since then, so things have changed.
Oh yeah, we've made huge progress.
Drastically.
Now he's like my hero, comes to my rescue.
I'm like, da, 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 with a red cape on the back.
And now he can actually tell when I'm poorly. He looks at me, he's like, do you want me to shake the baby? I'm like, yes,
Well, to be fair, I do ask.
Yeah.
I think that's, just find out if everything's okay.
Are you okay this morning? But yeah, so that's another hot topic, guys. And then exciting news for Mark. He's like, what?
Oh. Actually, it is really exciting. So, 4 years ago, is it 4 years ago? It's probably 5 years ago now, isn't it? About 5 years ago, I had a dream. I had a vision. I have a dream. I did have a dream. And I wanted to be a management consultant. And so, I did all the kind of educational stuff that I needed to do, went on this course. And I started to apply for lots of different jobs. And I guess what I didn't do in hindsight is go on like one of these apprenticeships, internship
or-
programs or anything like that. But, at the same time, we had started running these 2 revenue
Yes.
streams.
And
revenue streams.
also we had a baby.
And we had a baby. And
There's a
things,
lot
and
going on.
so, but anyway, 5 years later, God has just done something extraordinary.
Yeah.
I applied for this random thing, government initiative. And then they said, no, we'd like to interview you. And then they interviewed me and they said, actually, we want to offer you a different position. You know, we want you to
And
be a
don't
manager."
tell them everything because
No.
we need them to come onto this Thursday Night Live to hear more about it.
Yeah, because there's a backstory to it. And so I think it's important to share the learnings from that.
I think there was huge learnings, right, guys? Picture this. You're pregnant. You're like 14 weeks pregnant. You think your
Well,
husband...
not me, but that was you, isn't it?
And your husband comes home and says he's lost his job. This was last year, November. Not last year, sorry. 2021, November.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, right? And then the journey continues, guys. It got harder and harder and
No, you
harder.
weren't thinking okay.
No, as in
That's- 'cause
okay.
that's-
Like,
as
what?
in, that's not the way Beth would react, no.
I just
But
took a
anyway,
deep breath
yeah.
in and I didn't say a word.
To be fair, that was the first night. She quite.
I was quiet. I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that experience, guys, in one of the Thursday Night Lives because it was hard. It was a whole year, an entire year of Mark not working and looking for work and how that drained you. And I didn't realize just how much it had impacted on you
Yeah.
because I kept thinking about me and how I was feeling and, oh, the baby's coming and where's the money going to come from? And in my head, if you've watched our finance videos, I don't do that kind of scenario. It just doesn't work.
Because she never looks at the spreadsheet. I'm the one that actually manages
I
the spreadsheet, so I can only imagine.
every month I'm like, okay, bills have been paid.
But remember, again, back to the scripture, it says, the battle is prepared. The battle? The horse is prepared for the battle, but safety comes from the Lord.
And you know that whole scripture
Those
of
are
things not
lessons.
where what you shall eat and what you shall drink and that kind of stuff. God sustained us.
Do you remember the day we were singing, I was singing with Micah, his eye is on the sparrow.
Yeah. And I
That's very
know
random
you
for
want
you,
your
but
soul.
yeah. Beth's like, what are we talking about now? What are we still
No,
talking
but that's
about?
the joy of like
I know.
singing through the pain,
Mm.
essentially. So it's been lovely just sitting and filming. And we actually, I need to go and pick up Rhea now, guys. That's the truth. So that's why we gotta go. But it's been great. And we cannot wait to see you on Thursday, the 19th of January, 2023 at 8:30.
And I do ask
We
that
will be
you.
live.
I do ask that you pray that I am there. I will be there. I promise.
We will be there.
I will be
By
there.
hook or by crook.
I will be there.
He will definitely be there. Where else would he be? Ding, ding, ding.
Next to you, honey. That's what.
You know what's so funny? As we're filming this whole video, all the things that there's like gifts going on in my head at different moments.
Learn how to edit, Bethel.
I'm
Learn
like,
how to edit.
oh, that would be a great gift. Oh, that would be a great.
Learn how to edit.
Guys, if you can edit and you want some extra pocket money and you want to do some editing for us. Anyway, guys, we love you. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this video. Please like and subscribe if you haven't, because last year a lot of people watched our content and didn't subscribe. And so it would be great if you subscribe for more content and to know when we go live, get the notifications. You need to turn on your notification button, which is that little bell. If you haven't done it, you need to turn it on.
Well, this is how I will do why you need to subscribe. I
Mhm.
would say, if you're really looking to learn, if you're looking to grow this year, if you're looking to get rich content that will actually help you get through some of the challenges that you're going to face this year, then this is where you want to subscribe. But if you don't, then yeah, don't worry about it. Just watch and just move on.
Watch and move on. No, we want you to subscribe.
Of course we want
Hit
you.
that
Of course
notification
we want
button,
you, yeah,
guys,
come on.
and grow with us.
Yeah.
It's about growing together.
Okay. See you later.